Hello, my friend. Welcome to Live Chat. I have so much to say today. I have all these thoughts in my brain, and I need to get my thoughts out of this brain. Do you ever feel like that where you have so much to say and we have an hour for me to say it? As you know, I just got back, as you might know, I just got back from what we're calling an influencer trip, which some people are calling a brand trip, with other influencers. I'm going to show you the picture of our little crew. There we are. That's our silly photo. As usual, the freaking StreamYard that I use does not allow me to upload pictures. They're uploading so slowly, and it's so frustrating. And the most important thing to me was to get the links for everybody down below. So I'm going to try to load as many pictures as I can as we're chatting. So anyway, that's our little group. There are some people here from BK Beauty over on the right-hand side. Not the woman in the far right with the dark hair, but the three people that are around her, Lisa J, and then two BK Beauty employees. They did not stay with us, but everybody else, that's everybody that was on the trip. And I'm going to introduce you to them in just a moment if you are not familiar with them. It was such it was like I don't think anything that's ever been done before. Like I genuinely think that this should be the future of even brand trips. There was so much done right that is always done wrong. And I want to share it with you. I want to put it out in the public, the things that were done right here, so that maybe in the future we won't have so much drama with brand trips, because I think the choices that the organizers made really made a difference as far as avoiding drama. And they made a lot of choices, a lot of conscious choices, beyond what we talked about before I left, which was just the general organization of it and how they kept everybody informed. There was so much more that they did right, that I wanted to share with you, that could really help brands to avoid drama and also help other people have fun. Because honestly, if I went on a traditional brand trip, I really do think that I would be disappointed after this one. I do. I don't think that they would do these things, and I don't think that we would have nearly as much fun. But I want that to change. I want people to be able to have fun on these trips. And I also want to do a little bit of clarifying. I got a comment in my community tab when I was talking about chat, I believe. And there's a lot to unpack in it about misconceptions about brand trips and just perspectives that I disagree with. And it's not to slam the person at all, but I think it's a really good talking piece, because I think that the opinion is valid. I just have counterpoints that I would like to mention. Because I do strongly disagree with the comment, but I know a lot of people do agree. So I just kind of want to present my perspective out there. And like I was saying to a bunch of people on the trip, it's like, the way that I grew up is very different than the way that the internet exists, in that I grew up in an environment where if you had an opinion, you would share that opinion. And then the other person with a contrary opinion would share their contrary opinion. And you would have a calm discussion back and forth. And then maybe you would come, at least to understand a little bit better the other person's point of view, maybe change your point of view a little bit, maybe never fully agree with the other person, but at least you grew a little from the conversation. That is the opposite of the internet, where it seems like people have their minds made up, and there's no room for learning and growing. I think that our community is a little different. I think that we are in a place where maybe I can learn a little bit from this comment, and maybe people who agree that are here live, and maybe y'all can learn a little bit about my perspective, and maybe we can come to a little bit of understanding as far as the contrasts involved in this comment. So I'm going to talk about that in the second half, but the first half, we're going to talk about just all of the things that I think that brands can learn. I can't say other brands, but that brands can learn from the Charleston trip, to make everything so much better for everybody involved. So before we do that, this is not just going to be me commenting, because I think that would be terribly boring. This is going to be also the people that are here live in the collective brain of makeup awesomeness, people that are here live. If you are not here live, you can also participate in the comment section down below. So let me introduce you to some of the people that will be participating. Tia, excited to have you here. Thank you for being here. Flory and the rest of the moderators, happy Mother's Day. If you are a mom, people get mad at me about this, but I feel like anybody that considers themselves a mom of any living being, or even if you are a dedicated mom of plants, I would say happy Mother's Day to you. Why can't we spread the joy to moms of furry children and winged children and crawling children, with scales other than the ones that are human and crawling? I feel like why can't we share Mother's Day? Happy Mother's Day if you consider yourself a mother in any capacity. If you're a grandmother raising, children still, if you're an aunt or a foster mom, happy Mother's Day. I think I've drilled that point in home. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there if you celebrate. And if this day is difficult for you, please know that I'm thinking about you and I'm sending you so many big hugs across the miles. Jilly Mack. Hello, Jilly Mack. Good morning to you. Good morning, Leah. And on Mother's Day, too. I don't know anything about on Mother's Day, but I will look into that. And if that is a thing you do, happy on Mother's Day to you. Totally misunderstood. Good morning. Happy What's Up in Makeup Day. Hit that like button on the way in. That's so helpful. Hi, Roya. Good morning. Happy Mother's Day to you. Good morning, honey. And to Tiffany. I'm so sorry to read that your mom passed 8 years ago. Keeping it low key. Sending you so much love, Tiffany. And Ginger. And Teresa, our other moderator. And anybody else that was able to make it. Steph or Audra, if you were able to make it. Thank you for being here. I know John is probably not going to be able to make it today. Last volleyball tournament of the season is happening as we speak. It is not going well for Phoenix, last I heard. So unfortunately, they are not going to the championships, but it was a great season. So yes, it's all good. You win some, you lose some. It's just the way it is. Tracy, good morning to you, and Jen and Kim. Thank you to everybody. And Daniel, my friend, thank you so much. Thank you, Daniel, for being here. All right. If I did not say good morning to you, good morning to you. Thank you so much for being here. I saw someone said, is there What's Up in Makeup today? No. I decided that I could have busted my butt and gotten a What's Up in Makeup up today. I did have a market yesterday, so I decided to focus on the market, making sure I had enough product for that, and also watching chick flicks that no one wants to watch with me. I watched a couple of chick flicks last night that I documented on Twitter, and that's what I did. I just decided to just not push myself. I would have really had to push because I didn't get back until Thursday afternoon. And then, usually I do my research on Thursday afternoon for What's Up in Makeup. And then Friday is when I film. Saturday is when I edit. So with the market and everything, it just would have been a lot. I could have done it, but I decided that was just something that would not be good for my mental health or my physical health. So I let it go. I watched He's Just Not That Into You. And I watched Eat, Pray, Love, which I'd never seen either one of those before. Very stereotypical women always need men kind of movies, but it is what it is. They were so entertaining. I'm glad I watched them. I probably won't watch either one of them again, but I am glad I watched them. All right, so let's talk about this trip. So starting off, let me just kind of tell you just kind of the breakdown of what my personal trip was like. So my flight got changed. I had to get up at the butt crack of dawn. I was up at 3:30 because my flight left the gate at 7. That was not what I signed up for. My airline changed my flight, and they were American Airlines, and they were like, hey, you can cancel this flight and we'll try to find you another one, or you can just hop on the plane at 7 a.m. And I was like, I guess I'm hopping on the plane at 7 a.m. So that's what I did. I got into Charleston about 10:15 and in the morning. No time zone change for me, thankfully. And then I met up with Simbri, who was one of the organizers, with Samantha March, and with Hannah Louise Poston, who I met for the first time and did not realize that she lives very close to me, which is so super cool. So we loaded up about 30 boxes into a couple of Ubers and then headed over to the place. And let me see if I can find the picture that Simbri put up. Yes, there it is. Hopefully I can put it up. So we had all these boxes. My job was to break down the boxes, which is not my favorite thing to do, but somebody had to do it, and it was fine. It's fine. So I opened up all the boxes, broke down. We unpacked the boxes, broke down everything, and then Hannah and Simbri, they ended up unpacking everything, doing the goodie bags, and then setting up the rooms and everything. And it was actually really fun. And I got to meet Hannah Louise Poston for the first time. Hannah, since I don't have any individual pictures loaded, Hannah is the one in the middle. So it's me, and to the left to right, me, Angie, and then Hannah. If you are not familiar with Hannah, she is incredibly lovely, like the sweetest, most mild, like so sweet, like the nicest person. Okay, here's the room. So this is Hannah setting everything up. So we made piles with all the people. So there was some personalized stuff. You can see there was the cream colored blanket that had our name embroidered on it. The cup there that had our name on the back. The pink bag there was from ColourPop. That was a bunch of products, and they had a piece of paper in there that had our name on it. So because of that, we were able to group everybody by room, and then we had everything set up and organized, and then we took a big box and brought them to the different suites. There were 4 different suites. There was the big main one, which was Suite A. I was in Suite B with Linda from Glitter Fallout, yes, here we go. Linda from Glitter Fallout and Shelly from Shelly Saves the Day. There's us getting ready. Okay, it's not showing up for me, but I think it's showing up for you. We were getting ready for our first day after we had slept. Linda is actually, I guess they're both primarily on YouTube, but Shelly's kind of all over the place doing all kinds of things. She does she helps people with all of the things, all the tech things, how to do all of the things, Amazon affiliates, and she knows everything. Linda is she's a good friend of mine. She lives near me. We've traveled together before. Sharing a room with her was fabulous as always. And she has a wonderful vlog out that I'll link down below after chat that kind of chronicled the trip. So we were in Suite B, and then there was a Suite C and a Suite D, and we kind of were off in our little pods. But the main room, which is the one that you see here, that was the main living room. That was where we kind of all gathered in Suite A. So the 3 of us, Simbri and Hannah and I, we got all of the stuff into the rooms, and then we gave everybody the go ahead to come in, and we got to meet everybody, and it was fantastic. It was wonderful. So one of the things that I think right off the jump that brands can learn from this was just how organized everything was, as far as, you had people plan to have everything, set up, and everybody got the same thing. Everything got the same. I think there was one person that didn't get a mug, and it was because that person signed up late. I think it was Stephanie didn't get a mug because she was one of the later people to sign on for it, which was no fault of her own. It was just the way that it worked out. So she didn't get a mug, but and it was just because of just logistics, but everybody else got exactly the same thing, which I think is really, really important, because I think one of the things that people complain about brand trips is that some people feel like they've gotten more things or gotten more of whatever, and they made it as equal as possible with this trip. And it wasn't based on follower count, who got their own room or who got bigger rooms or who was here or there. It was just, they based them on who they thought people would get along with, people that had traveled before, people who knew each other before, and they consulted with the people on the trip of who they wanted to room with, who they felt comfortable with. And then when they were finalizing who was in what, they sent out individual emails and were like, hey, this is your group. Are you cool with that? And we're like, yes. My group was definitely cool with that. So, I think that that's one thing that really and truly made this different, is that the communication about where you were staying, what your room was going to be like, who you were going to be with, was really important. The other job I want to show you, I captured this from Linda's video. My other job was to set up the drink fridge. BK Beauty bought us snacks. So this is my drink fridge that I organized to Simbri's specification. It's all the labels facing out. There were actually a lot more than this down below. But yeah, that was my job, was to set this up. I know it's kind of blurry because it was a capture from Linda's video, but yeah, that was what I did. That was part of my job, but it was honestly, it was really fun. It was very fun. let's see if there's any comments about anything so far. Okay. This was Charleston, South Carolina is where we were. Yes, the trip definitely. Hi, Jamie. Jamie from Glam Latte. I've linked her Instagram down below, and I will also link her TikTok when we're done. Those are her main platforms. But I got to spend a good bit of time with Jamie, which was wonderful. Okay, so yeah, so after everybody got there, one thing that I think was really special about this trip that I want to mention. I don't think I'm going to go through every single little aspect because there's lots of vlogs that go through every single aspect. But one of the things that I think was really special about this is that they didn't overplan us and they didn't underplan us. They had like two things that we were scheduled to do every day, but you didn't even have to attend. I think that's important to note is that none of us signed any kind of, anything for this. Nothing. Like we could do as much as we could work as much as we wanted, or we could work not at all. We could share the products that we got or share not at all. Like it was, you could attend the things or not attend. It's whatever you wanted to do. And I think that they knew based on the invite list that we would all pretty much attend, for the most part, like on our own. We didn't need to be told to do anything. We're all adults. We're all adults who were there for the experience, and also we are so appreciative. So of course we're going to start sharing about the products. If we think something sucks, are we going to like make it a point to, are we going to, okay, let me rephrase that. So if we get something and we really love it, are we not going to share it? Let's just put it that way. You know what I'm saying? We were also appreciative to be there. And I think that as far as us signing that we had to post, I think that they assumed that most of us would, and we will, because they signed on brands that make good products is what it comes down to. We didn't get like a bunch of cheap like makeup that doesn't work. We got like they're legit brands that make good things. So there's gonna be something that we can talk about. So I don't see why we needed to sign anything to guarantee we would talk about it. And I think they knew that. You know what I'm saying? So Angeline says, what brand is this? This was not organized by a brand. It was not a brand trip. This was organized by Samantha March and Simbri. Simbri's Instagram is linked down below. I've met Simbri multiple times at Ipsy events. And of course, Samantha March, if you're not familiar with her Instagram, her YouTube is down below. Unfortunately, Samantha wasn't able to make it. If you want to know what's going on with her, go over to her Instagram. She has all of the details there for you as far as what's going on with her, why she couldn't go on the trip. I know she was absolutely devastated. But I think we're all just kind of giving her space right now. She's going through some stuff. So this was not a brand trip. BK Beauty stepped up the hardest for it. The order of operations here was that we were told, hey, we're thinking about doing a brand trip. And we emailed back and we're like, cool, I'm interested in a brand trip if we were interested. Then they sent out possible locations. There was a whole, almost looked like a PowerPoint presentation of the different locations that we could choose to go to with potential ideas of things we could do, about how much it might cost, maybe where we would stay. All of it was all organized, and they were like, hey, these are some of the places that are options. And then we put in our top 3 options. They sent out a survey. We put in our top 3 options, and the one that was picked, the one that was the most asked for, was Charleston. I will tell you, Charleston was not in my top 3, but I did not hate that it was close to me. It was nice that it was close to me, to not have to pay as much for my flight, because we did all pay for our transportation. That's something that's different than a traditional brand trip. Usually they pay for everybody to fly out there. Because this was not a brand trip, we all paid our transportation. So they sent out, we found out where we were going, and then they said, okay, this is where we're going. This is how much our place costs. And we all sent in our money. We all sent it in because that's what we signed up for. And then a couple months later, they were like, hey, BK Beauty says that they're going to pay for our place, so we're going to refund you your money. And we're all like, woo, yay. So we thought that was where it was all ending as far as the sponsorship piece of it. But no, that was not where it ended. Next we heard, let me show you, let's see, Unearthly Cosmetics signed on. They ended up doing a brunch for us from Callie's Hot Little Biscuits, and they gave us a really nice purse. Basically, it was like a vegan leather purse with a bunch of products in it. And I will tell you, like, it does not matter. What is happening on my watch? Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just updates on the volleyball game. You're going to see influencers talk about this, especially ones that like duochrome shadows, because legit, it's a good palette. I took a shower yesterday after I put this on for the market. I felt so gross after the market. I put this on and I washed my face. I got out of the shower, and maybe I just didn't do a good job washing my face, but it was still on my eyes. My eyeliner was everywhere, but the eyeshadow was still on my eyes, which is weird. I was definitely weirded out by that. But yes, you are going to see influencers talk about this, because legit, it is so far a fantastic palette. And I am now interested in Unearthly Cosmetics. Never was on my radar before. Never even thought, like, it was but they put the product in my hand, and now I'm like, oh, so this is what you do. Okay, then. Well, that's what we're doing. So really excited about getting that. So Unearthly paid for a brunch and gave us some product. And then ColourPop, there was like a masterclass situation where they had a bridal makeup artist come in with a model and give us kind of a smoky bridal tutorial. So those were the brands that were the major brands that were involved. And then there were a couple of brands that were in our swag bag that you can see. Oh, wait, I don't know if you can, let me put it back. Right here, I don't think, yeah. So the bags that Hannah has there, that had all of the like stuff from like Garnier and Sigma. There were a bunch of brands that had donated just little products to put in, not little products, but products to put in there. So that was what was in the bag. So they didn't really like do anything the way that ColourPop and Unearthly and BK did. But they did put products in the swag bag. So that was the brand involvement in a nutshell. I don't know if you all have any questions about that. I know that on Thursday, Simbri and Samantha are going to be doing a live stream on Samantha's channel to talk about any questions that anybody has. Leah says, do you think the brands that signed on did so because they agreed with the intentions of the trip over traditional trip reality shows? Maybe. I would love if they did. I think, you know what, this is my opinion. And I told Lisa J, who's the owner of BK Beauty, I told her my opinion on this, was that I do feel like this level of influencer is really neglected as far as, and I'm talking about me, just like people that are in the, 1,000 to 500,000, well, 300,000 range. I consider myself like, because I'm almost at 300,000, but I've been almost at 300,000 for like 3 years. So it sounds like, and also I've been on here I'm sure there are a lot of people that are subscribed to my channel that people don't even exist anymore. Like they've closed, like, so anyway, I consider myself in the range. I feel like we don't get to do things like this. We don't go on brand. This is not normal for us. Where if you take like a Nikki Tutorials, a Laura, Leah, Manny, MUA, they do this shit all the time. Excuse me. They do it all the time. Like it's normal for them to get a trip to Bali. It's normal for them to get a trip to Hawaii or whatever, like we don't get this. And I think that, brands knew how appreciative we would be and that we would, just share out of just appreciation the things that we loved that we got, so hopefully they signed on because of that. But I also think it's because of the size of us that we don't really get the attention from brands that other people do. And when you're not inundated with piles and piles of boxes every single week, some of us are, but not a lot of these people don't get a ton of PR. When you're not inundated with that, when you do get something, you have a new product to talk about and it's in your face and if you like it, you're more likely to talk about it than people who have huge followings that get, 30 boxes a week or whatever. So hopefully, are the ingredients safe on the palette? I I think you might be talking about the not safe for eyes pigments. This is, let me see. It does have red 6 and red 28, which are considered the pressed pigments. So this, if you don't use those, then no. But the thing is they are approved in the European Union. In my opinion, the those pigments being not safe for eye use is complete and total 100% BS. Some people are sensitive to it, but that doesn't mean that they shouldn't be considered not eye safe. So yeah, so that's the thing. That's the thing about that. Dargie's makeup and science, waiting to receive the unearthly palette of male first time trying and can't wait. Lip products are lovely. Dude, based on what I know about you, you are going to freaking love it. Like, yeah, Tiffany likes it too. It's freaking it's really good. I'll do some swatches in about 5 minutes. When I talk about what's on my face, which is not that, I'll do a couple swatches for you. Remind me if I forget. So no, you know what? I forgot to bring marshmallows. I had one box of strawberries and cream left that was nice and fresh that I wanted to bring. But I forgot it. I meant to bring it because that was one that I recently reformulated and I really love it. But I didn't have a ton of stock fresh stock, and I knew I had a market when I got back. So I was scared to bring too much because I knew I needed stock for the market when I got back. And I wasn't going to bring them the stuff that had aged out, that it was past the best by date. I didn't want to do that. That stuff is getting given to people that I physically know. I didn't want that to be their first experience, was ones that I was planning on getting rid of. So, yes, I don't know when I'll ship outside. I have no idea, but I would love to. Yeah, the one about Mel. So speaking of Mel, favorite stories when I sent the super minty ones to Mel Thompson, I got to meet the lovely and fantastic Kelsey Brianna J. Kelsey is freaking phenomenal. Okay, if you don't know Kelsey, she is the one. Okay, so if you go from the left, there's Molly in the purple. Next to her is Amanda Z, and then next to her is Kelsey in the light blue. And she is so amazing. I actually got to spend quite a bit of time with Kelsey. We kind of latched onto each other a bit, and I think part of it was that she was friends with Mel. I was just new friend with Mel, and we got to talk about Mel a little bit, just a little, not enough to invoke tears, but just a little bit. And we kind of had that in common, so I think we kind of went like this. And hung out a bit, but she is absolutely incredible. If you don't know, Kelsey redid her channel. She's now House of KBJ. Her new channel is linked down below. But that's another thing that I want to talk about before we hit the break that I think is absolutely critical for brands, is that they invited really good people. Like, really good people. Like, all of these people were adults who were there for the right reasons, who have been doing this for a while, who were appreciative to be there, happy to be there, and were just, there wasn't a person in this group that I felt uncomfortable with. There wasn't a person in this group that I couldn't just walk up to and start a conversation. There wasn't a person that gave me a weird vibe. Every single person in this photo was a genuine pleasure to spend a few days with. And I think that's part of the problem with big brand trips, is they just invite people based on the impact they think that the brand is going to get based on their follower count. They don't invite people that will gel and mesh and vibe. Therefore, there are conflicts. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like when you are curating your guest list for something like this, part of what made this so special was the camaraderie, the I know what you go through, the I know what it's like to be you. We don't get that. We work in isolation most of the time. And it is something special to be able to walk up to any of those people and say, I'm having trouble with X, Y, and Z, or what kind of content works well on your channel, or what do you find success with? And talk a little bit of shop and really just share ideas. I would highly doubt that happens on other brand trips. I'm sure it does to some level, but based on just the one Ofra thing that I went to before the pandemic, there were people that I knew that I clung to, that I talked to, but there was about half the people there that I didn't even talk to, that they were really in their own bubble creating content for themselves, not really interested in the community aspect of it, which is fine, but not my jam. And I feel like, that curating the guest list is important, to make sure the people you're inviting and making sure that they're genuinely good people, and not just doing it for the benefit of your brand, but doing it for the benefit of the experience. And I think that if you see anything from any of these people that are uploading, you'll see the pure joy. And then that reflects well on any brand that participates in it. And if you're the brand that organized it and you see pure joy in the people that went and all people do is rave about it, that's going to look good on the brand as well. And I think that that's a piece that is strongly missing from from brand organized trips that I think was so incredible about this trip. And I was talking to Tina from the Fancy Face, and she was like, this experience is really special. This is one that's going to go down in the books, I think, for everybody here, because even if we do this again, it's not going to be this trip. This trip is special. And I think that we all agreed on that, which, is really incredible. I mean, have you ever heard that come out of a brand trip? Ever? I know I haven't. Never. Like it really was special. All right, I've got 27 new comments, so I want to see what you all are saying. Yes, exactly, Marnie. Marnie says, sounds like sending them to Bali or Hawaii, et cetera, is more like trying to get good reviews from those influencers. 100%. The focus is on the PR aspect of it and not on the full experience of it. And trying to make sure that it was, that the brand for this was secondary. The number one thing was really about just coming together with as people that do the same job and getting together in one place and getting to meet each other in person. Jamie says Kelsey was our ray of sunshine. She really was. She did not stop smiling until she got tired. And then she went, I saw when Kelsey hit the wall. Like I saw it. I saw her hit the wall on the last day. It was like, okay. Tina kind of hit the wall too at the end of the last day. I actually, this is a side note before we take our little break. The last day was a beach day, and Kelsey and Tina and I were not about the beach. Like Tina took one look at the North Carolina or the South Carolina beach, and she was like, it's not blue, because she's Florida. It's not blue. I am not going in that water. And I was like, well, this is the beaches that I grew up with, Ocean City, Maryland, Chincoteague, Virginia, Assateague, Maryland. Like I did not, I grew up in that water, so it didn't bother me, but I'm just not a beach kind of person. So Tina and Kelsey and I went off and we had crab boil. Kelsey had a crab boil and Tina had, I think it was crab stuffed flounder. I just grabbed some fried green tomatoes because that's one of my favorite things and I wasn't super hungry. But we sat for like 3 hours, the three of us, and just talked and just hung. It was incredible. It was wonderful. I made sure I tipped the waitress extra because we camped at the table for so long. But anyway, we had the three of us, we spent quite a bit of time together, and then Linda joined us a little bit later, and we had some moments, but I think Tina's going to vlog. I'm going to let Tina tell the stories. I'm going to let Tina and Kelsey tell the stories, a couple of the stories, but we had a blast. Oh, good, Audra. I'm so glad you connected with Kelsey, because Kelsey was talking about how she felt like she doesn't know you super well and really wanted to get to know you a little bit better. So I'm really happy that you all connected. But yeah, so yeah. Marnie says, I don't even watch the big influencers. I never have. I was looking for someone I could relate to and would provide honest information on affordable products. Frankly, they get on my nerves. Yeah, it's just kind of, the way that it is. Oh, my baby's here. Hi. My husband's hours away. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you, sweetheart. I'm not cooking dinner tonight. I'm just letting you know. It's not happening. I'm not cooking dinner. Happening. All right, let's take a little bit of a break and let's talk about what's on my face today just very, very quickly because it's not super duper exciting. Really just the Bare Necessities palette is the big thing that's on my face. ColourPop was one of the I would say sponsors of the trip. They did not pay any of us. That's the other thing too. We did not get money, like cash money from any brand. Like, no, absolutely not. And like I said, we were not obligated to talk about this. So I consider this just PR, which needs to be disclosed. We need to talk about when we get something for free, but there's no payment here. So it is not a sponsorship. But I do believe, don't quote me on this, but I think the brands did pay to be a part of it. So that's why it would be considered a sponsorship of the trip, but they're not a sponsorship of me because they did not give me money. Give me money. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so I use the Bare Necessities palette. This is the main color that's on the outer corner and then the shade up here. I also use this for my lip color today. And then for blush today, I was just looking for a blush that would match. This is actually kind of old. This is Ocean Girl Beach Cheeks by Tarte Sugar Rush collection, which is it's probably getting old. That's I don't know what that was. Hopefully it smells fine. Okay, we're good because it's getting kind of cold. But that's what's on my face today. And I want to talk more about this stuff. So, you know what, Tamara, I hope the brands use this as a template too. I genuinely do. I don't know if they will because I think that larger influencers are used to a certain thing and it may not translate well where I think I didn't talk to a single person that had ever been invited on a brand trip that was there. The closest was, I think Angie's been maybe to something. And I went to that one thing in Ophir where they did fly me down and they did pay for my hotel, but it was like a lunch. It wasn't like a full experience. It was like a lunch in Florida. So, and I got to like go around the Ophir labs and stuff. But it wasn't like a brand trip, it was a little different, but they did pay for it. So I would consider it like a brand experience, I guess. Oh, Sandra. Okay, so y'all tell me because that was automatically checked when I signed on to live chat, is that advertising during live chat. If that's super annoying, let me know and I can uncheck it because I did see that and I was like, oh, okay, all right. Some people are saying they got in. Okay, let me go ahead and next chat, I will take that off. Okay, a bunch of people are saying they got an ad. I will take that off for next time because that's weird. Yeah. Oh, it just says I'm not getting into brown water. Oh, totally. Yeah, that's just the way that it is. We did get to go to City Market, Kimberly. We walked there from our place one day. And because the walk was so far, all we got to do was eat at the little marketplace. And then we had to just turn around and come back. So Tina and Kelsey and Linda and I went back to the market and really walked through it and spent some time, which was really fun. So, all right. So let me talk about this comment. Now, I want to be very clear. I am not hating on this person. Like, they have an absolute right to their opinion. I just disagree. I'm not mad at this person. I think that it's a good talking point, though, just about brand trips in general. Hopefully I hit enough points as far as how brands can improve. I think we're going to hit on more with this. So here's the comment. All right, here we go. So I'm going to unpack it as we go because it's a lot. I do like many of the influencers there, but the fact that subscribers are this excited for perks given to salespeople. Okay, so what they're upset about in this first comment is that the perks are given to salespeople. If you look at the people that were there, I would say that if you've actually watched their content, very few of them, if any, are salesy. And even the ones that have done sponsored videos, that when they review things, that they're giving you their honest opinion. I don't see salesy people here. That's just me personally. Yes, we do sell things because in the natural progression of things, when you like something, people are more inclined to buy it. I will tell you, I have done favorites and fails countdowns where my number 10 or number 9 have sold products, even though they were considered the worst. But I would not consider myself a salesperson. I am not good at that. I have never been good at that. What I've always aimed to be, which I think is a great analogy for what I think a lot of us do, is if you've ever seen the movie Mystic Pizza. Okay, I know it's a callback. Okay, Julia Roberts, old movie. So the whole thing is they work at this pizza shop, right? And there's this pizza reviewer guy that if he comes in and likes, oh, he's a food reviewer. I don't think he's a pizza reviewer, but if they were like watching him on the TV and he just slams all kinds of food places and, but if he likes your food, it can bring in a ton of business. I always wanted to be that pizza reviewer dude. I always wanted to be the person that gave such honest reviews that if I did like something, then it would be positive for companies, that the companies would look at me as an honest source of feedback and information. If I sell things, fine. If I don't, fine. I don't see this as a perk for salespeople in any way. Like at all. That's just me. I'm going to go over the comments because I want to make sure I get to people commenting back. Oh, hi, Tina. She's back. It was not the beach for me. I'm Jamaica, so the sand and the water made me cringe. Yeah, we didn't even step on the sand, I don't think. I don't think we stepped on the sand. So I do think that some creators can be salespeople, but I don't think that this particular group is. Okay, so next comment. You, the people, bought all the stuff that generated the income for the influencers and salespeople to go. So to be clear, we did all pay for our trip. We paid for our flights. So to get there was on us. But because you all have purchased things that through affiliate links, you've watched our videos, you find us valuable, that's part of why we got to go. Yeah, absolutely. I do think that that's true, that people do have a part. And if you all did not watch me, then I probably wouldn't have gotten to go, other than that I'm friends with Samantha March, but I don't think I would have gotten to go if I didn't have you all, your support and your watching and purchasing to my affiliate links. But these brands didn't know. Like very few of us have ColourPop codes to know even our impact, or BK Beauty codes or Sigma codes or whatever. Like, that's for this trip, not accurate. As far as the generated the income and sales for the influencer salespeople to go, because to be clear, we paid for our way there. You buying BK Beauty products afforded them the ability to be able to afford to treat us to so much. And some of us do talk about BK Beauty often, so that probably helps. But yes, your purchasing of BK Beauty and supporting that brand definitely gave them the opportunity to be able to afford to do things for us, 100%. She says, it irritates me, for example, that car salesmen get to party when they sell the public enough junky vehicles. See, that gives me a level of dishonesty. So it's almost like the person is saying that we're selling junk, and then we get to go places for misleading people, which I think is very inaccurate, especially for this group. It doesn't make me fully mad that this trip happened. That's good. But it is irritating to see how little society values my work versus makeup demos. Okay, I see that, because when I was a teacher, I didn't get jack. You know what I'm saying? Like, that job was so much harder and so much more stressful because it wasn't on my schedule. And there are a lot of positions that are not valued the way that they should be. 100%, absolutely. It feels tacky to show us how influencers live the good life based on money their subscribers spend. So I'm curious to know what you think. Do you see this as the same thing as showing how influencers live the good life based on money their subscribers spend? Because that one, I can see that perspective. I really can. I can see that perspective when people work so hard and they don't get to take vacations, and then they see other people taking a vacation and they feel like they work harder and deserve it more. I kind of see that. I do kind of see that perspective. Yeah, makeup brands are trying to sell a fantasy aspirational lifestyle. I think so too. I think so too. Somebody says they can't hear audio. That's freaking me out. So hopefully that's not a thing for everybody. Oh no. Okay, Sandra says the statement by this person sounds full of jealousy and ignorance to be ignored. Clearly doesn't understand how things should be done. Clearly lumping you in with Morphe influencers. Definitely possible. Definitely possible. Yeah, I mean it's one of those things where if you are in an altruistic kind of job, you're not producing a product. Therefore, you don't get you know what I'm saying? The appreciation. Like when I was a teacher, like you're not producing a product, you're helping children to then grow up and produce product. But it doesn't really come back. You know what I'm saying? So like I get it. But we're definitely, I don't think that we're like the Morphe influencers, to be honest. Okay, a lot of people are saying they can't hear. Oh, good. Okay, good, good. Come back, come back. BK Beauty brushes really are good. Genuinely. They remind me of my Sigma brushes. I feel like they're kind of similar, in my opinion. So yes, Marnie says, if you watch the right influencers, you know you can trust their views. Yes, us teachers make awful money. I switched to boring accounting. Gotcha. And actually, Kelly is a teacher. She's a third grade teacher. Let me see if I have a picture of Kelly. I can show you where Kelly is. So Kelly, if you go all the way to the right, in the very front, you have Shelly, she's in the corner, and then next to Shelly with the red hair, moving to the left on the floor, is Kelly. Kelly is a third grade teacher, and we did get to talk a little teacher shop, which was really nice. She was fantastic, and her channel is linked down below as well. So let me just finish up this comment. Okay, why are we obsessed with our salespeople? I don't know if people are. I think that people don't see us as salespeople, I think, for the most part. I think some people do, obviously, but I don't think that people really see us as salespeople overall. I think that some of us, I would say everybody in this room, our goal for the most part is to help people to make educated purchasing decisions and also talk about our love for certain things. I don't think that it's necessarily about that. And then the last sentence, which was very interesting, which is why beauty influencers are economically and functionally. Oh, they deleted the part. There was a piece. I just captured this morning. It was about us having wealth. There was a piece about us having wealth, watching rich people go on vacation. If you did not notice, this was not a rich people vacation. This was a very nice vacation, very nice. But this was not Dubai, okay? The Dubai trip, that was a rich people vacation. That was insane, like out of control for how rich people vacation that was. This was not. It was definitely a very, very, very nice, but it was not lap of luxury. It was beautiful. I wouldn't have changed it. But this is not rich people going on vacation. Like, we are not rich people. As far as when it comes to comparing us to, the people that have the rooms full of bags. Maybe some of us do. I don't know. Who am I to say who's rich and who's not? I don't know what these people's home lives are. I honestly don't. I don't know what these home lives are. And I do I don't know. I don't want to get into like my personal financial situation because that's just not, something I enjoy talking about. But that was really a weird thing to say as far as, this is rich people going on vacation. I don't know. Maybe they just were misunderstood. Maybe, I don't know. It was just, I don't know. I think there's a big misconception about how much money influencers make, because the majority of my household money does not come from me. It does not come from me. It comes from my husband. My husband owns a business that does way better than my YouTube. So, it is not lap of luxury as far as, I don't know. I can't speak to each individual person though. I don't want to speak to each individual person's, like their financial status, but I felt like that was kind of unfair, but maybe that's why they deleted that part. Let me just go back to the very end. Why are we obsessed with our salespeople, which is what beauty influencers are, economically and functionally? Their disclaimers otherwise just don't hold up. And I think if you have trust issues, that's valid. Like, I feel like people should have trust issues from some of the ways that some influencers have handled their platforms. I'm very skeptical of all of that. Let me just make sure why okay, it's still volleyball stuff. I just want to make sure there's like no emergency on my phone because my wrist keeps buzzing at me. I don't know. I just disagree with a lot of it. So, what's so funny, Samuel? I did not marry Big Daddy Warbucks. I married a man who when I met him, he was working third shift at a warehouse. And then when we got married, he was delivering pizzas. And we were living off my first year teacher salary. Ramen noodles and love is where, and we've slowly, because we do have a very comfortable life now. But I did not marry him that way. He did not come that way. We've grown together. Let's just say that. But my husband is a lot more into the luxury stuff than I am. it's not my thing. So my husband is into the luxury stuff, I will say. So, but that's not my life. It's not my passion the way it is his. But I did not marry him that way, to be clear. But I believed in him and supported him so that he could grow to where he's at now. So, we did it together as partners. So yes, exactly, Tamara. If you don't trust a creator, don't watch. 100%. 100%. So yes, we grew together. Yes, we did. Well, I didn't mean to click on that. Let's see. Jessica says the salespeople in any industry get treated than anyone else in the company. It's just you may not always be seeing it. Yes. And if you look at it, like the people from BK Beauty, like you've got, okay, so Lisa, the owner of BK Beauty, is all the way over to the right in the green and red dress. So the woman to the left of her in the yellow, she works for BK Beauty. And then the woman directly behind her, not Amanda just for fun with the purple hair, but the one that's got her arm up in the air with the kind of the blonde highlights, she also works for BK Beauty. So I'm assuming that Lisa flew them out there to enjoy the trip as well. And they joined us for karaoke and it was fabulous. So they did get some perks working for that company, which is very cool. They didn't stay in our house, but they did get some perks. And like I said, it's just the nature of capitalism, unfortunately, that the people who create a product, who sell product, who are part of the business of the money-making side of any industry, usually get perks. That's just the way that our society is. Is it fair? No. I do feel like, the people in the manufacturing facilities, the customers, if you can see, I'm not sure if you can hear Haley barking. She's been on and off barking all day. I feel like they deserve to be able to they work so hard, and the customers that support the brand, they're amazing. Like that there's a reason why BK Beauty could do this. And it's because of the people that have purchased brushes, and other products. They do sell other products. So I get it. But unfortunately, it just, the people that sell the things do get to go on the trips. That's just I don't know. And like I said, they didn't know our sales numbers before we were invited. That wasn't the reason we were invited. We were invited because we're cool people. Oh, thank you, Cynthia. You're amazing. I knew you'd come through. All right, let's do some swatches of this on Earthly Palette while we chat a little bit more. All right, Jenny, here we go. I didn't read this whole thing, but I agree. Jobs are not equally valued, but it doesn't make me angry or not happy for those on the trip. I worked as a medic on ambulance 911 contracts, poor pay treatment, so I quit. Sad but true. Oh yeah, totally. I can't even imagine what it's like to work on an ambulance. Like unbelievable. There's no way I could do it. Like no way. Let me get paper towel. All right, Tina. What may be missed is that this trip allowed for us to meet other creators and create friendships. And also, most of the people on the trip are not included in the big rich people brand trips. Oh, 100%. I don't think any of us have been. Like, period. I don't think any of us have been on rich people brand trips. We don't get invited. We talked about that, as a group, that we don't get invited on these big rich people trips. We talked about it last week when we talked about the Tarte brand trip. And, I'm not somebody that's going to say someone doesn't have a right to complain, because I have no right to say that. I will say, though, that some of these people that are invited on these trips have been doing it for a year, 2 years, 3 years, worked very hard. But I've been doing this 11 years and have never been invited on an actual brand trip, which is fine. Like I don't really even think about it, to be 100%, but it's like, to have this be like, Tina's been doing it for freaking ever. I don't think Tina's ever been invited. What, you argue it like 14 years or something? Like, Linda has been doing it forever. So many of us have been doing it for years and have never, like Leah Janae, never. And like, brands invite certain kinds of people. Let's just be honest. And a lot of us just aren't those people. We're just not. So we don't get invited, which is fine, but it was nice to be invited and to get to experience something like this, like Tina said. All right, I have room for one more swatch on this arm. And then, you know what? I'm going to go this way, just so I can get them all. Okay. All right, that last one was super weak because I did it with the wrong finger. So I'm going to double swatch that last green one on the top because I think it was my finger. All right, so here we go. Oh man, like today's my first day. Come on, Jen, for reals. Usually I swatch them like this. I'm out of practice. I haven't swatched in too long. Okay, that one looks like doo-doo. Let me swatch that one again. Because I did use this one and it was nice on the eye. There we go, that's better. You can't even see the shifts. What is happening here? Can't even see the shifts. This is not doing it justice at all. Like this one right here is freaking amazing. And I don't think, see if I can get it close. Can you see it? No. All right. These people, when I'm going to have to do more with this palette and show you for reals because it's not doing it justice. It looks like doo-doo in the swatches, 100%. So yeah, Jamie's been doing it 13 years. And it's like not to negate their 2 years of hard work, but when's going to be my time? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Yeah, Lily says, how's this one wholesome creator trip being pooped on? You're actually cool, genuine people, and you deserve to have fun. Thank you. And it's like, I think that, I don't know. I mean, we had a fantastic time. And I wish I had 4 more minutes to tell you about all the people because all the people were amazing. I wanted to take special mention of a couple people. So I already talked about Kelsey and I told you I spent so much time with Tina. Tina is freaking amazing. She gives me a hard time. She picks on me out of love. Oh my gosh, she went in hard on me a couple things, but it's brutal honesty and I appreciate it because I told Tina, let me tell you, this is so funny. So we were talking about what doesn't perform well on her channels. And I said, what performs well is drama-based stuff. What doesn't perform well is anytime I try to be funny. And Tina was like, that's because you're not funny, Jen. She's like, it just doesn't translate well. And I was like, thank you. Thank you for your brutal honesty. But sometimes I'm still going to do those videos anyway because they're fun, but I just thought that was hilarious. So she's just brutally honest with me and amazing, and I just love her and appreciate her. So people that I've never talked about on this channel that I want to highlight Amanda from Makeup Just for Fun. Okay, so she's the one with the purple hair in the back right. Okay, Amanda and I have met before. We've talked in groups, but we've never talked one-on-one. And let me tell you, like talking one-on-one with Amanda has just opened my eyes so much to who she is. She's freaking hilarious. She is very quick-witted. Like the one-liners that come out of this woman, I die. We were sitting together on the very last night at about between like midnight and 1 o'clock in the morning. And she is so funny. And I didn't realize she was that funny. Like I knew she was smart, but I didn't realize how quick-witted and funny that she was. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I had so much fun. Okay, so Stephanie. Stephanie is to the left in the back, kind of with her head turned and her eyes closed. I knew nothing about Stephanie other than seeing her Instagram post. Her Instagram is down below. Stephanie is such a sweetheart. She actually lives close to me. And I got to spend time with her really at the airport. It was the longest conversation we've had. She's just so down to earth and so just thoughtful. Like the way she speaks is very, not thoughtful as in I'm being thoughtful of you, but she thinks before she speaks, which I admire because I'm really bad at that sometimes. Like she's just very like articulate isn't the right word, but like just her ability to put ideas into words is very concise and fast. And just very, very sweet. I definitely recommend you check out her Instagram down below. All right, Khaki. Kaki, I didn't get to spend a ton of time with. I went out of my way to have a conversation with her on the last night because I didn't get to talk with her. Kaki is to the left of Stephanie, right behind Angie and I. Kaki and I talked about astrology quite a bit. That was fun. She is a spitfire. She's got so much personality. I mean, y'all know this if you watch her videos. She's got so much personality, and she is just, she's intense, but in the best way. In the best way. And she's got so much information to share. And that's kind of seems like it's her passion, is just sharing information, sharing the things that are in her brain. And I just listened to her a lot. And I really enjoyed listening to her and learning from her and having astrology conversations, because Angie tapped out on the astrology conversation. Angie was not about it. She like totally tapped out. She was like, okay, I'm going to over talk to somebody else. I'm not into this. But yeah, so I really got to talk to her quite a bit. And I'm trying to think of anybody else that I really got to spend time with and talk to. Makeup Molly on the left, way far in the purple dress. I got to talk to her more than I ever have. I've met her and I've met Kelly Gooch before, and Kelly and I still didn't get to spend time together. Kelly is in the front with the curls with the peace sign. Kelly and I still didn't really get to spend time together, which really sucks. But Molly, we spent some time together at the second dinner and got to talk with her, and I really do think that if we lived closer, we would be friends. She just is so calm and peaceful. I mean, those are kind of the words that I can describe her. I mean, she's got really good energy, really good energy. And then I've talked about a lot of these people before. I talked about some of them today, but I want to spend a little bit more time on Lauren May Beauty, who is, if you go, you see Kelsey Brianna J on the left in the blue. And then next to her to the right is Lauren May Beauty, which I know she is so beloved in this community. Lauren is like, I just want to have coffee with her every day. Like, she connects with me on an emotional level, where a lot of them we connected more on an intellectual level. I feel like Lauren is so like, she's got that emotional energy, and I just got attached to her very quickly. I did. I got attached to her very quickly and just kind of fell in love with her. This group of people, and even if I didn't just mention them here. Oh, and Glam Latte. Let's take a second to talk about Glam Latte. I know we're out of time, but over on the far right, top right corner, Glam Latte. We had a lot of very interesting conversation. We were the oldest ones there. And I think we bonded over that, of our experience kind of being the oldest ones. And, just our experiences being influencers and what it's like to be us. She's the one, the top right with the dark hair, with the peace sign up. And I'm not sure if she's just kind of like, yeah, like with her eyes closed. I felt like we really connected as well. We talked on a walk back and just had a really great conversation. And I feel like we would be friends too if we lived close by. She just really, really interesting to talk to. And I feel like we do have a lot in common. So I'm almost not leaving you out. I'm not leaving you out. It was wonderful talking to you. So I've talked to other people too, but we are out of time, unfortunately. And I'm going to go back and read a lot of these things. And Tiffany, you know what? Tiffany, that was one of the major people I felt like was missing, was Teresa's dead. Teresa's dead should have been there, in my opinion. Like, that was, I feel like she was missing. Like, I don't know, like, if she was invited or what happened, but she was missing. 100%. She would have fit in so well. And I've met Teresa once, but it was before we really, like, I really knew, like, I knew she had a channel, and I think I'd watched a little bit of her content, but it was way early. So, well, hopefully we'll get to see each other again, Jamie. Hopefully we'll get to see each other again. Oh, Teresa was sick. Oh, that's good to know. That's good to know. Hey, Kelly, we're wrapping up now. But Yes, definitely, you guys. Definitely check out the links down below. I know I'm over time, but definitely check out the links down below. I could tell you so many more stories, but I hope that brands take notes. There's so many things that I didn't even get to talk about things that I felt like brands really should do. I feel like really the biggest thing was curating the list of people and really focusing on the influencer experience rather than experiences. Like instead of packing the day full of things to do, pack the day full of meaningful things that people can get out of it. And but I do think a lot of that really is, it's the group. The group was just so good, you know? But I feel like it reflects on the brand when the people there really are having fun. Because I feel like feels like there's a lot of disconnect between some of these brand trips and the people that go on it. You've got the big people and then you've got the smaller people. And there was literally no difference as far as I'm trying to think, the person with the highest follower count, there was no difference in hierarchy between that person and the person with the lowest follower count. The person who'd been doing the longest versus the person who'd been doing it the shortest. We didn't even know like who was hierarchy wise, who was getting the most views on their videos, you know? Like it wasn't something we talked about. Like it wasn't a thing. It just wasn't a thing. And I wish that that could be everywhere, where we can just be people. Because even if let me just clue in some of these big influencers, even though you have a big follower count, that doesn't mean you're a better person. It doesn't mean you're more valuable human. Like they're not better than us. They're not. They may get more experiences. They may have more money. They have more followers, but they're not better than us. Like there's no human hierarchy when it comes down to it, as far as, people with social clout. It's not real. It's a facade. Like we're all just people, man. We're all just people, and I wish that could be like a thing, All right, I'm going to pop off. Thank you, moderators, for staying an extra 5 minutes, and mad love to you. Next week, I'm not sure what my Friday video is going to be. I have an idea, but I don't know if I like my idea, TBH. So, and next week, What's in Makeup, of course. And live chat next week will be at 10 a.m. again. So, mad love to you, and I will see you in a video very, very soon. Bye.